And we're live. Yay. Hi, guys. I'm Mindy, Life on Purpose coach. I coach women, usually female entrepreneurs, but women to stop fighting for their limitations and embrace and step into their limitlessness. And tonight, I am so excited to have a colleague and a client and a friend, Kelly, with me here tonight. So, Kelly, thank you so much for joining us. Kelly is going to share some of her amazing story, past 2 years, 3 unbelievable transformations. And she's going to share that. We're going to talk about purpose. We're going to talk about intention and her mission to support people with anxiety. So I am so excited about this. So I'm going to stop talking and take it away, Kelly.
Hello. So my name is Kelly Cole. I am a nurse practitioner, and I also am now a business owner, and I help moms lower anxiety through lifestyle change. And so I'm just going to tell everybody tonight kind of about my story. So I'm a mom of 2, and over the past 2 years, it has been a lot happening over here in my world. And so I have now they're 5 and almost 3 years old. So
little babies,
and they're so crazy and they're so fun. So so basically the beginning of this was really around the time after I was ending maternity leave for my second child. And so at that point, I was probably the most depleted in terms of like energy levels, and my weight had shifted to a point where that I was higher on the scale than like I'd ever been. And it wasn't really so much about that, but it was that I felt bad. Like I did not feel well. I had no energy. I did not feel good. And I was doing like supplementation and things like that. But I basically decided, not for weight loss purposes, but for truly just like health purposes, I wanted to feel better. I just made this giant diet change. And so I took a whole month and I eliminated dairy, and I eliminated gluten, and I did the whole, it's called the Whole30 plan. So you do you don't drink any alcohol, you don't, all of the things that are potentially inflammatory, I took them away for 30 days. And so prior to this, I had definitely some anxiety issues when I was younger. They fluctuated, but I noticed, especially at the end of that 30 days, that I had this intense change in my anxiety level. I just felt like nothing could rock me. And I was like, well, what's that about? And then I was also like feeling much better. I felt so much mental clarity. I had so much energy. And I was like, I feel awesome. Clearly how I'm eating is impacting this. And I didn't even realize it. Like that was the mind-blowing thing for me, is that I didn't even like
know about the gut-brain connection.
No, I didn't get it. I was like, time out. Like what's happening here? So I started, my medical brain just was like, and I had to figure it out. So I went on this like major crazy dig. I mean, books, podcasts, like anything I could really get my hand on. And I was going into journal articles, like medical journals. Like I was legitimately on the search for the biophysical reason. Like, why is this all connected? And like, I started digging a lot more and learning so much more about, like your gut brain connection, how everything is connected. And then I also started delving more into that, also the realm also that kind of has to do with like your thoughts and how your thinking plays into it. And it's just such an interesting kind of evolution of where that went for me. So
this is why I'm so excited that you're here, because we speak the same language, but maybe a different dialect.
Yeah,
but like on the same exact page, that all of that is connected.
Oh
absolutely connected.
Yeah.
And the difference that it makes in our lives.
It does. And I, of course, like I understood, and especially seeing how much I see in the hospital, like in my regular job, I was like, you could see a clear distinction between the people that just had a positive outlook in life, that they were like ready to take on things, or ready to accept things as they came and more flexible and more malleable and kind of rolled with it. And then the people that were just not in any place to accept anything or cope with anything. And it was a stark contrast between like their outcomes, between their experience during under that stress that I was with them through. It was intense. It was very intense, kind of like the realization around all of those things and how mindset all plays into that. So it's so important. So this so that was kind of the first thing. So that I was super excited. I felt like I really finally understood my body and what worked well for me too, because not only, and this was probably the first time, like I said, that I went and I was like changing the way I ate. And it wasn't because it was how I wanted to like look. It wasn't like about weight loss. However, I lost 60 pounds in that.
Gosh.
I did over the course of a year. So over the course of a year, I lost 60 pounds and I was below my weight before I got pregnant with my second child.
Oh my goodness.
So it was insane. And, there was just this little like mental piece there too, where I had always had this weight in my mind that I was like, I want to be this weight because this weight's like the best weight and whatever. I mean, you know how people do.
Having this
like
attachment to it.
I did. Like I had
exactly.
this attachment and I even had it, as like the combination on my gym locker lock. I mean, it was crazy.
So you were looking to manifest it. I mean,
I clearly was, except it never happened back then. And I like blew past that weight and I went lower. And it was like crazy because when I finally looked at it, I thought, wow, I can't believe that I'm doing this way. I can't believe that I'm not even caring about it. And I like happened to jump on the scale and I was like, just so excited that my clothes fit differently and that I just really loved like having that feeling instead of just worrying about like the number on the scale. It was really a freeing experience.
And so I would say that is the energy that you're creating as well. You know, what we focus on grows. And every subject is two subjects. And so weight loss, the subject of weight loss is you are either focused on the health reasons of it, and that it's more than instant gratification. It's long-term satisfaction. It's those things, or you're focused on I can't lose this weight. Like I don't get to eat anything. I'm here. Clearly you are on the other side of it, attracting all of the things as opposed to attracting, it's hard to lose weight. Yep. You're going to make it hard. Keep thinking that, it's hard to figure out how to feel better doing the Whole30, doing any sort of elimination diet. I mean, when we first talk about that, people are like restrictions. I don't want restrictions.
I know,
but it's giving up that instant gratification for that long-term satisfaction. Right. And we do that with all kinds of things, but it's very apparent when we do it for our health.
Yeah, definitely. So I had this transformation for me, which I loved. The other things that were going on was I had two small children and a father that was really, really sick. And as a healthcare provider, I was in this role of supporting all the people. And at work, I was also dealing with the hospital sad sometimes. So like there was some tough things going on at the hospital. My father was very ill at the time. And my father ended up passing away in the middle of this. Yeah. So, the other portion that I feel like I had this transformation was like a spiritual transformation, because you don't go through those events in life without those questions. You start just saying, dear Lord, like what are we here for? And, who am I supposed to be then? Like, who do you need me to be? So I ended up reading this book. It's called The Immortal Diamond.
Okay.
It's actually by a Franciscan priest, and his name is Richard Rohr. And I'm telling you, it changed my life. So this book like deconstructed everything that I ever thought about religion and then put it right back together in this beautiful, like spiritual connection type of view. And it spoke to me so much and I just loved it. And so after that point, I really just felt like all the time I would just start praying, like, what should I do? Like walk my feet, because I feel like I'm meant for more. I feel like I am supposed to be doing something big, and I feel like there are these roads, and like I feel like I'm supposed to be on one of them and I'm not sure which one to be on, and just having this conversation. And there was a point where I literally felt like it wasn't like, oh, I was being like guided, like I was like being like pushed, like you're supposed to be doing something, and I
Would
was like, what is it?
would you have I hate to interrupt. What an
Yeah.
amazing story that you're sharing with us. Thanks so much. Guys, if you are tuning in right now, like you're going to want to listen to the replay as well. Say hello. This is Kelly. She is sharing two amazing transformations. Would the spiritual transformation have happened, and in the way that it happened, had you not gotten that mental clarity, changed like your health vision in order to be able to even see the spiritual?
I mean, potentially, no, I'm not sure. I feel like I had like this progression, and I needed to do some work on me. You know what I mean? And so
Mm-hmm.
I think that that was part of that, was focusing some on me first, with a lot of my health changes first.
Mm-hmm.
And then it kind of all fell into place after that. So it was like, then I was thinking, I'm learning so much about like, trying to reconnect with yourself, trying to like listen to yourself, and trying to really have that connection, and like get those, people call them like downloads, or like what,
Yeah.
just
Mm-hmm.
listen. Cause I think that I was just getting this, I mean, it was like a volcano inside. It was like this thing I couldn't even ignore. And it was insane. And you know, as much as we were like going through all of the discussion about like mindset and things, some of that too was this realization that I had always, walked the path that I thought I was supposed to. I always walked the path that I thought was expected of me,
Mm.
and not that it was bad, and it's not that I chose something I didn't like, because I chose something I liked, but it was always just kind of like, oh, I guess I'm supposed to be doing this now. Like it was never something that I was like, I know I'm supposed to do this. I know this is meant for me. I know this is, like
Mm-hmm.
my path. And so,
Well, there's people listening who are like you. You're what you're describing, maybe not all of it, but that part right there. Like, well, this is what was expected of me.
mhm. And
So, and then, dun
yeah.
dun dun.
And so, and I did it. I mean, I did it. Like I became a nurse, and I'm a nurse practitioner, and I do love that, and I feel like I I enjoy it, but at the same time, like there has never been a time that I felt like called to do it. I feel
Mm-hmm.
like I am called to do, to just have a bigger impact. And so that was really my third transformation, which to me was like busting out of these preconceived boxes and like these expectations that I think were held for me and I held for myself, and jumping into something that I had to, like, it was like an internal struggle to fighting with that feeling that like I'm supposed to be doing something. I know I'm supposed to be doing something. I feel it. I know it. It's like tapping me on the shoulder and it won't stop. And I am like, what is it? Like I said, I literally would be like, what am I supposed to do? I feel like I'm supposed to do something and I don't even know what it is. And it was crazy. So the feeling subsided when I started like doing a lot more intuitional, like a in more connection with myself. So
That's
when
what I was going to ask. Okay, so when did you really start tuning into your intuition to
yeah,
know, like, what am I supposed to be doing? Because you
yeah,
know.
yeah, and that was like the craziest realization was, I think that I literally had to like grapple with my own thoughts first, because my own thoughts were like, that's, you're not doing that. You're a nurse practitioner. Like that's not who you are. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, what is everybody going to think? What are they going to say when I say that I want to do something different than what I do now? Or what's my husband going to say? My mom, everybody. I was like worried about all of that, worried about putting myself out there, worried about all of the things. And yeah, in the end, I just was like, okay, I'm just going to try to really like think about this for me outside of that thought, but really think about like, if I wanted to sit here and do what I'm supposed to do or what I think I'm meant to do and have this big impact, what does it look like then? Like, what am I supposed to do? And that is, I think that ultimately you always know the answer when you really let it come to you. Mm-hmm. And if you follow that strongly, I think that you can't go wrong. Like, I feel like you're going to be in a good place if you keep following what you think you should be doing, with like some educated guidance, hopefully around you as well.
Well, one of my favorite questions to ask in coaching when a client says, I don't know, is, well, what if you did? Yeah. Because immediately an answer will come. Well, if I did know, I would do X, Y, Z. Like we really do know if we give ourselves the time to check in with that, right?
Right.
And those negative thoughts, what is my mom going to think? What is this going to think? What is that going to think? That's another, like, okay, what is that protecting me from? Like, if I didn't think those thoughts, then what could I do? Kind of thing, right? We get to really ask ourselves those to tune into that intuition too, because that's the brain, I mean, I know, that's your ego protecting you. That's the primal part saying, no, we like to stay in safety and the known. And this is way out of the known and what could happen. And we don't know. Mm-hmm. And let's just stay where we can go on autopilot and rinse and repeat. Yeah. Yes. And Angela's saying, yes, she loves that question. What if you did know? And what if it was easy? And what if they did support you? What if your mom said, oh my gosh, that's the most amazing thing in the world, right?
Yeah.
Kind of a thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So where was your anxiety in all of this? Like how was that checking?
Oh God. Yeah. So when my anxiety was at its worst was probably when I was like in college. And I didn't even recognize it. Actually, I didn't understand what it was. I would have a lot of repetitive thoughts that were really scary kind of thoughts, like just like I'm this is good. I'm going to fail. That kind of like bad place. And I would like cry just a lot, very emotional. I was very anxious and I didn't recognize it. I was like, I'm not anxious. I'm like the fun girl. Like, I'm like going to go out, and I was, but I also like put on a smile and was like, nobody kind of knew like the crazy that was happening inside. So fast forwarding through all of this, I still feel like I've been more excited and a little bit of anxiety, sure, but like I'm in so much of a better place to deal with it. And I have noticed that when I keep on with all of my lifestyle, like that I've known now helps so much. So like when I keep avoiding all of like the crazy processed food that I used to eat and like the sugar in my diet and alcohol, my anxiety is so much better when I take time for myself, let my mind be quiet, when I exercise, when I sleep well, my anxiety is so much better. And
did everybody hear that? Like, this is not just me, because usually it's me preaching this, right? Everything is better when you sleep well, when you hydrate, when you limit alcohol and processed foods and sugar. I mean, you could cut those things out, but we're not saying that. But when you limit them, you'll see how you feel differently, like because of the neurotransmitter, your mind body connection, right? Like all of that. And then when you add on that meditation where you just get to be still and be, where it's not when you're a human being and not a human doing, like really, that's so awesome. Thank you for saying that to everyone. Because I don't think we can hear that message enough from people.
Yeah. Well, and I, my business now is geared towards helping people lower their anxiety through doing just that. So I developed a program which will have a coaching element, which is going to be able to really work with people that are looking to be able to reduce their anxiety through doing those things and just want some help going through it or want to go through it by themselves. So I've got a lot of good things coming with that, and I'm so excited about it. And so, so we are going to be changing lives doing that. Like, people are going to be really having some good realizations as soon as they figure out for themselves, like I figured out, that you can feel so much different with that. And it's outstanding.
And that's you're the test case, right? You're the poster child. You had the transformation yourself. And now you know how amazing it is that you can't not share it. Like, and this was the calling. This was, I know I'm meant for more. And it was this. So all of it was divinely laid out. Each step had to happen in the way that it happened in order for you to be able to be in the place now to say, hey, I've walked this and now I get to walk it with you.
Yeah. And I can't wait to share it.
Difference.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Yay! So where do we find you? What's it called? Like what's going on? Give us the goods.
So you can find me on Instagram at the whole calm. So it's the.whole.calm. Okay. And we have a Facebook group that is for motivated mamas who are looking to lower their anxiety through lifestyle change. Also the same name, the whole calm. Okay. And
does it have the periods?
No, just straight. Facebook didn't make me put any dots in there. And then we have our me, Kelly Cole. You can find me on Facebook. So Kelly Cole, Cole.
Awesome. I was just typing all that into a comment so that anybody listening can see it. It'll pop up right then as well too for you. And your program, when is it starting? Do you have a date yet? Should we just join the group and then we'll get details?
Yeah. So if you join the group, you will be able to see everything upcoming. Right now, we are doing this Resilient Mom series where we're kind of going through everybody's like personal stories of resilience in their life. And then everybody has been so wonderful, contributing so many amazing things about anxiety reduction strategies. So we've been doing that right now and focusing on that. We had somebody who was a yoga master on yesterday. And then we just had so many good things. So we're in the middle of that series right now. And then we will be going forward to start talking about our program coming out. And it's going to be super fun. So come and join us.
Awesome. So tell me again, the Facebook group is for, and you said moms, let's just tell us one more time.
Facebook group is for moms that are motivated to lower their anxiety through lifestyle change. Okay. So anything that I said, you think, I think that makes sense. I think that, I would like to try to lower my anxiety through doing some of those things too, then definitely come join us. We're always talking about all those different things and giving good strategies, and we would love to have you. So
incredible. Yeah. This has been an absolute joy. Thank you so much. Your story is incredible, and the way you share it, and you are the fun girl. I get that. Totally. I love that. You said the book, Immortal Diamond by Richard
Rohr. I think it's R-O-H-R.
Okay. That was my guess. So I'm gonna just put that in there. Immortal Diamond. Oh, I don't have my glasses on, so I can't spell diamond. By Richard Rohr, R-O-H-R. Okay, awesome. So I put that in the chat too, so people can see that book as well. I'm going to check that out. And Angela's on here. Angela, have you read that book? Angela is, she reads all the time. So I just popped it up so everybody could see it too. So Immortal Diamond by Richard Rohr, life changer book. Kelly says, you got to check that one out. Angela has read it. See, I told you, I knew it. So Kelly says it's a life changer book, Angela. Agree? Do you agree? Angela's a coach too. Kelly, she's a confidence coach.
I love it. Oh, good.
So any last words, I
think my last words would probably just be that if you are looking to do anything new in your life, whether it is something small, like I want to try a new way to eat, or something big, like I want to start a business, just to take those times and try to really listen and connect into yourself and try and figure out for you what you think is going to be the best step forward, and just try to follow your own intuition. I think that it's going to lead you the best places. So that's all.
Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you again for joining us today. Guys, all the places where to follow Kelly. And if you have questions, just leave them here, tag her in it. She'll see them. She'll be able to see it and come back when you watch the replay. Hit replay. Let us know, everybody, let us know your biggest takeaway. Like, what was like, was it the mind body connection? Because, you know, your gut and your brain, like second brain, all that kind of stuff going on. So that's real stuff. Lots of us, you know, lots of folks don't know it or don't want to believe it. But here now there's 2 chicks telling you that that's the truth. Like, and that's that. Yep. So thank you. Thank you. It's been so great having you on here tonight. And thank you guys, Mindy. I will see you next week for Transformation Tuesday. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.